My first post this week was about Weatherford. And over the past year, Weatherford's stock price is up 20%, say. Baker Hughes is down 3%, and both Halliburton and Schlumberger are down 20% or more. And what's interesting is when you look through the results, Weatherford's operating margins and returns on capital continue to climb, while these larger integrated oilfield services companies have really started to plateau. And there's an interesting story there about how Weatherford is continuing to win, continue to expand and explore in these oilfield service markets where the rest of its large competitors are running into some headwinds. So it's something I unpacked for the first post this week. My second post was about Chevron's announced move of its headquarters from California to Texas. And you hear a lot of the commentary that you would expect to hear, a lot of the tension between California and Texas, a lot of the tension between oil and gas and renewables. I frankly think a lot of that stuff is overplayed. It's easy to indulge in some of that, for the same reason that people enjoy watching so much cable news. I think the real story, though, is about being bullish and optimistic about the role that Houston specifically and the Gulf Coast generally is going to play in our ongoing transformation of our energy infrastructure. That, of course, like Mike Wirth, the CEO of Chevron, says, Houston is the epicenter of our industry. But also because the oil and gas infrastructure plays as important a role as it plays in our existing energy mix. It also is a source, it's a fertile ground for experimentation, exploration, investment in new energy technologies. And so oil and gas offers not only the foundation of what we do today, energy wise, but it also offers a bridge into the future because there's a lot of investment, a lot of significant asset base that already exists there. And pulling talent closer to Houston, closer to the Gulf Coast, makes this region of the country even more exciting. That's what I wrote about in that post. And that post I put on Foundations of Energy, which is the learning and development tool that I built and host on Substack. If you've not checked that out, I encourage you to check that one out. I go a little bit deeper there than I do, a lot deeper, frankly, there than I do on LinkedIn. It's similar topics, but more context, more exploration of the vocabulary of the foundational data sets, really telling the more complete story of how some of these current events are really enlightening what's happening in the world of energy. My third post this week was about a luncheon that I attended at the Petroleum Club in Houston, where I got to listen to Giles Kibbe, the General Counsel of the Houston Astros, speak about the Astros real estate development that's going on downtown, their work around the Houston Open Golf Tournament, their work around charitable endeavors that they're doing in the city of Houston. And it was really interesting, just the timing wise, how that came on the back of Chevron's announcement of their move to Houston. It's one more series of data points that shows just how strong Houston already is, how strong it's going to continue to become, the growth that's happening here, the investment that's happening here, and how that's really positioning Houston specifically, the Gulf Coast generally, to be even more of an epicenter of activity and forward-looking progress around how we're going to remake all things energy and industry, both in the U.S. and around the world. Really exciting times. It was a lot of fun to hear from someone who's directly tied into what the Astros are doing around all that. Each weekend, I send out a free weekly newsletter that includes links to and summaries of all the research that I publish during the week. I also include an energy-related anecdote, insight, or observation that I don't share anywhere else. That way, if you've seen everything that I've published online, you'll still have something new to read in the newsletter. If you haven't signed up to receive that, go ahead and hit the link in my profile. I'll probably put a link down below as well. I hope you had a fantastic week. Thanks so much for liking, reading, watching, commenting. I appreciate it, and we will talk soon.